Today's movement has to do with releasing the chest down in order to turn over the saya, the sheath, and then opening the chest out in this direction, including the shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades, it goes down, down and out like this. This movement then of down, out to draw the sword is a wringing of the chest, which leads to a discussion which I would like to have about structure. So one of the things that's being taught in implicitly by this kata is the sense of structure in the body. Structure, loosely speaking, means some combination of posture and tautness. Yeah? If your structure is good, then forces that come into your body are clear and easy to understand and follow. If your structure is bad, then there's a lot of like slop, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly where things are coming from. And so having structure without having muscular hardness is the core problem for a lot of Budo practice. A way to do it, and my sensei had many different theories about this, and this is the one which I took hold of and use myself. So one way to do it is to put structure into your body so it is straight and formed, by letting gravity draw your soft tissue into a kind of tent-like tension. Yeah? Because it's gravity doing it, not muscular hardness, you retain your sensitivity. But because gravity has a force, it gives your body structural strength without tightening muscles too much, right? So letting gravity and the ground force, which is the response to gravity in your feet, draw your soft tissue taut. Taut is maybe the wrong word too, simply because it implies a kind of hardness, which the amount of force that you can steal from gravity and the ground force is not hard. It's a kind of soft drawing in, and the shape that you create is structurally sound rather than hard. Yeah. This wringing is an almost endlessly upgradable skill, or this absorbing of the energies which are at play upon your body into the softness of your body so that it has structure without exerting strength, is an almost bottomless progression. You can go on forever in developing subtlety in that area. The beginning practice is, well, this kata, for example, but also simply standing, in a practice called shizentai, which is to stand naturally, which is not entirely natural, but it's a way of standing, which I'll detail later. But in general, if you stand or if you're sitting as you read this, and you feel a hardness in your bottom, as I have now. I'm sitting on the floor, so there's a kind of tension. The gravity is going down, the ground force is coming up, and there's a point where they are pushing against each other in my bottom right now. And so if I think about that and think, okay, this is here, what I want to do is rotate that point mentally, forward or back, right or left, such that the tension is distributed into the soft tissue of my entire thigh, or gluteus maximus, that whole area, right? When I do that, the tension or the pressure seems like it decreases. It's actually just being shifted into the soft tissue of my lower body. Standing, do the same thing. Anytime you find hardness, just try and rotate it so that instead of pushing like this, it's like this, so that forces are sliding past each other and being absorbed into the soft tissue. You'll find that it just reverts, and then you go back and do it again, and reverts and go back and do it again. So the actual practice of standing for, say, 10 minutes, which I usually do most days, looks very quiet, but it's not. It's like playing a shooting video game. You are watching closely and then adjusting, often at some speed, to soften the body. Yeah. So stand, find a hard place, try and rotate it, maybe succeed, maybe fail, move on, come back, move on, come back, until your whole body's weight is dispersed slightly into the soft tissue and out of your bones. Yeah. The soft tissue then is drawn taut in the manner of the guy lines of a tent. Yeah, the bones hold things apart. This is drawn like this, and there's a feeling of like fullness that enters into all of your joints. This is the secret to this sinking of the chest. The middle of the chest is staying still, the front is sinking down, the back is going up, none of the bones are moving. That turns the saya over, that turns the sheath over. And then again, this dropping down, therefore this going up, and the entire like chest cavity, and the arms come out. So this is using gravity to wring or give structure to your upper body. And the shape is the draw.
So with this wringing, it can be basically used in two different ways. One is to move, which is what we're doing now, letting the chest sink, which moves the arms down, which turns over the sheath. And the other is to simply let it sit in your soft tissue and create form. The second point I'd like to talk about with regards to the kata is the thrust, the ski. To make the same point, yeah. Having pulled back into Kasumi, we sink our sides closed and step through at the same time, and then open our sides forward. That's the ski, and it's smooth and it's fast. But doing it in a muscular way kind of defeats the purpose. Let things sink without the center of the circle moving. Imagining like a series of balls in your chest, in your elbow joint, in your wrist joint, in your knee joint, different points around your body. And the center not moving, but gravity taking one side and the ground force pushing up the other side. You can really feel this as a kind of gentle pulling, and either follow that pulling so you move, or just let it sit there and have structure. As I said, this is a long, complicated process to develop that, but it leads to a very soft and sensitive and open kind of body through which blood and everything moves smoothly, and it's just a very, very, very good way of moving and of structuring your body so that it's formed but not hard. It's curious feeling my sensei's body or the bodies of other great teachers that I've been with, how they seemed quite muscular, but the muscles were often quite soft. They were strong when they were moving, and then they were soft when they were not, and you could sink a thumb into my sensei's like forearms that seemed so formed but were really quite jelly-like as a result of this kind of practice. This is just the beginning, so we will talk about this more later. Thank you.